Students, in the previous video we tried to understand flip-flops. We studied all different types of flip-flops, and now we will try to understand the application of flip-flops, where the flip-flops can be used. So the two applications are counters and shift registers. Before going to any topic or looking at this video or trying to understand any topic related to counters, I will advise you to go through the video of T flip-flop with preset and clear terminal, so that we can use that concept in the construction part of counters and shift registers. So first we will try to understand what exactly a counter is. Of course, as the name indicates, we will be designing a logic circuit which counts. Of course, the circuit which we are going to design will count in binary. So for example, if you are counting a 4-bit binary number, so the count starts from 0 0 0 0 say to 1 1 1 1. So we will be designing a logic circuit which counts by default, which will count this 0 0 0 0 to 1 1 1. Of course, what it is going to count, it will count the external triggering pulse which we are going to give, which we call it as clock input. So by general definition of counter, if we say that counters are logic circuits designed using flip-flops. Number of flip-flops we have to use. So counters are logic circuit designed using flip-flops used for counting incoming clock pulses. Now, as I said, suppose if we want to count a 4-bit binary number, so we already know that to store 1 bit we need 1 flip-flop. So if you want to count 4-bit, you need 4 flip-flops, and you know, unless and until the flip-flop is clocked, the output does not change. So all the 4 flip-flops has to be clocked. Depending upon how the 4 flip-flops has been clocked, the counters are further classified as synchronous counter and asynchronous counter. Let us first write the definition of counters. It is a logic circuit designed using flip-flops used to count incoming clock pulses is called counters. Okay? When I say incoming clock pulses, which is nothing but the external triggering pulse, which is nothing but the clock input of flip-flops. Now, as I said, it will be designed using flip-flops. As I said, if you want to design a 4-bit counter, you need 4 flip-flops, and the 4 flip-flops has to be clocked, has to be triggered externally. So the way in which the flip-flops are triggered or the flip-flops are clocked, the counters are further classified as synchronous and asynchronous counters. I hope you understand the meaning of synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous means, I just give you an example. Suppose there is a group dance going on and all the participants are performing a step exactly at the same time. Of course, we will say that the dance is in sync. That means every step is being carried out at a particular same time. So now, as I said, we will be using number of flip-flops, and the flip-flops will be triggered only when the clock pulse is given. And if same clock pulse is given to all the flip-flops, of course all the flip-flops will change their state simultaneously. That type of counters are called as synchronous counter. So depending upon the manner in which the trigger is applied, the incoming clock pulse is applied to the flip-flops, the first type is called as synchronous counter. All the flip-flops are clocked simultaneously. Therefore they change their state at the same time. That means all flip-flops are working at the same time. They are changing their state at the same time. Such type of counters are called as synchronous counter. So now you easily understand the second type, which will be asynchronous counter. What should be asynchronous counter? If different clock pulse is applied to the flip-flops, of course they will change their output at different interval of time. Such type of counters are called as asynchronous counter. So if different clock pulse is applied to the flip-flops, they change their state at different interval of time. Such type of counters are called as asynchronous counter. So this is the basic introduction of counters. So basically what we are trying to design is a binary counter. It will count binary number from 0000 to 1111. We will make the modification depending upon what type of counter we will be designing. Of course, to store one bit we need one flip-flop. To store number of bits we need number of flip-flops. So if you are trying to design a 4-bit counter, we will be using 4 flip-flops, and these flip-flops change their state when the clock pulse is given. So depending upon how the clock pulse is given, the flip-flops are classified as asynchronous and synchronous. I hope you have understood the explanation of asynchronous and synchronous. In most of the circuits which we are going to design in counters, it will be all asynchronous counter, which is very easy to design, less hardware required. Therefore we use asynchronous counter. Only one circuit we will be designing of synchronous counter. One more important thing is the relationship between the number of flip-flops and the number of count which is going to happen. So 2 raised to power n is n equal to m. So this is n is number of flip-flop and m is the count. So as I said, if you suppose a 4-bit counter is there, that means 4 flip-flops are there. So 2 raised to power 4 equals to 16. So how much count will be there? 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1. Total number of count is called as 16. This 16 is called as modulo of the counter. So in generalized term, if you define modulo of a counter, it is the number of discrete state. Discrete means different state through which the counter goes. So if it is a 4-bit counter, it will start from 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1. That means 0 to 15. So total number of discrete states are 16, because after 1, 1, 1 the circuit will again reset back to 0, 0, 0. We will take one example so that you can understand that thing. It will reset back to 0, 0. So the discrete states are 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1. So total number of discrete states is 16, and that type of counter will be called as modulo 16 counter, where modulo defines the number of discrete state. I hope you have understood. Next, let us try to understand a 4-bit binary counter circuit. Now the same circuit can be asked in a different ways. So the same circuit can be called as 4-bit binary counter because it is going to count the binary numbers. 4-bit ripple counter. I'll tell you why exactly it is what do you mean by ripple and why the name has been specified as ripple. Next is 4-bit asynchronous counter. By the name itself you can understand, we already know what is asynchronous. Asynchronous means all the flip-flops will be clocked differently, therefore they will change their state at different interval of time. And modulo 16 counter because the count should be total number of count, discrete count, different counts should be 16. Of course, first you have to decide the number of flip-flops. There are two ways, both the things has been mentioned in the question. That 4-bit binary counter, 4-bit, for 1 bit 1 flip-flop, therefore for 4-bit 4 flip-flops. So 2 raised to power 4 equals to m, that means m is equal to 16. This is one way of identifying it, that how many count will be there if the number of flip-flops is given. Suppose the question has been asked to design modulo 16 counter. So what is modulo 16? That means 2 raised to power n is equal to 16 is given. So what will be n? N will be equal to 4, which is 4 is this is number of flip-flop, and this m is equal to 16. This is the modulo or the count which has to be seen at the output of the counter circuit. So this is the first step. You have to understand that how many number of flip-flops are used. Now when I started this video, I told you that you need to go through T flip-flop, working of T flip-flop. T flip-flop is nothing but toggle flip-flop. Toggle flip-flop we designed using JK master slave flip-flop. JK master slave flip-flop, when both J and K is connected to logic 1, the output toggle. Toggles means if you are already it is in set condition, it will reset, or if it is in reset condition, it will set. So this toggling will keep on happening with the applied clock pulse. So this is what a T flip-flop is. So now if you have to design a 4-bit binary counter, you have to design 4 T flip-flop. So 4 flip-flops, 4 T flip-flops has to be designed adjacently. So I'll start with the first one, 1. So both J and K input are connected to logic 1 and JK master slave flip-flop. This indicates that it is a negative edge triggered. A negative edge triggered means the flip-flop will change its output, that is Q and Q bar, when the clock goes from 1 to 0. Right, 1 to 0. This is negative edge triggered flip-flop. So this is the clock. So this is your first, this is preset and this is clear. Preset and clear terminals are used to set and reset the output without applying the clock pulse. So now such 4 flip-flops has to be connected in sequence. So this is the second one, J, K connected to logic 1, negative edge clock, Q, Q bar, preset and clear terminal. This is the second one. Then again third, J, K connected to logic 1, negative edge clock, Q, Q bar and active low, preset and clear terminal. This is the third. And this one is the fourth. J, K, Q, Q bar, preset, clear and a negative edge clock. Now the output of the first is A, output of the second is B, output of the third is C, output of the fourth is D, where A is LSB and D is MSB. Now we are supposed to design a 4-bit asynchronous counter. So asynchronous means for the first flip-flop we will apply the direct clock pulse. The clock which we are external triggering, which we are going to give, we will apply directly to the first flip-flop when the clock goes from 1 to 0. Output of the first is connected as clock input for the second, output of the second is connected as clock input for the third, and output of the third is connected as clock input for the fourth. That means when you give a clock pulse, the first flip-flop will change its output. Depending upon the change in the output, second flip-flop will be triggered. Change in the output of the second will trigger third. Change in the output of the third will trigger fourth. So all the flip-flops are given clock at different interval of time, and therefore they are changing its state at different interval of time, and therefore they are called as a synchronous counter. Okay, so now the count is like this. It goes clock D, C, B, A. That means D is MSB and A is LSB. So initially when no clock is given, what we will do is we will activate clear terminal of all the flip-flops. Of course, you know, preset and clear terminals are used in flip-flop so that the output can be initialized with either the set condition or the reset condition when no clock pulse is applied. So now as of now the clock is 0, so there will be some condition at A, B, C, D. If you activate clear terminal, it will reset output of all the flip-flops. All the flip-flops will go into reset condition, and when it goes into reset condition, that means Q is 0, Q bar is 1. Of course we are not taking Q bar, so leave Q is 0. So output of all the flip-flops will be 0. So that will be the first count, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right? So this is the initialization state of the counter. And when you give the first clock pulse, when the first clock pulse goes from 1 to 0, what happens is the first flip-flop will trigger. As J and K are connected to 1, it will work in toggle mode. That means initially if it is reset, it will set to 1 once the clock pulse is given. So when the first clock pulse arrives, the first flip-flop changes from 0 to 1. A goes from 0 to 1. And the same A is given as clock input for the second. But all these clock inputs are negative edged. Negative edge means they will be triggered when the clock goes from 1 to 0, 1 to 0, 1 to 0. But what happens now? A is changing from 0 to 1. Will that have any effect on 2? Of course not, because the clock will be activated only when the clock goes from 1 to 0. Now A is going from 0 to 1, so no effect on 2. If there is no change in 2, there will be no change in 3 and 4. So at the end of the first clock pulse, the only flip-flop which has changed is the flip-flop 1, which has gone from 0 to 1. So the state is D0, C0, B0, A is 1. Second, now A is 1. A is 1. Second clock pulse is given. Of course, the first flip-flop, what happens is, as the direct clock pulse is given, it will toggle with each clock pulse. So A will again go from 1 to 0. Now A, as it is going from 1 to 0, which will be the clock input for 2 will trigger. So 2 will trigger, that means its output will go from 0 to 1. That means B will go from 0 to 1. But will that have any effect on 3? As it is going from 0 to 1, it will have no effect on 3, as the clock input will be triggered only when the output goes from 1 to 0. So no change on 3. There will be no change in 4. C and D will remain 0. B has changed from 0 to 1 and A has gone from 1 to 0. So this is the second state, 0, 0, 1, 0 at the end of the second clock pulse. Now let's say third clock pulse is applied. So when third clock pulse is applied, again the first flip-flop will toggle. Now what is A? A is 0. So A go from 0 to 1. Now when A goes from 0 to 1, there is no clock input for the second because it is deactivated. So 0 to 1, no clock pulse is given, so 2 will remain as it is. That means B will remain 1, as there is no change in no change in the output of the second flip-flop. There will be no change in the output of third and fourth. So that at the end of the third clock pulse, D, C and B remains as it is. A will change to 1. So the next output is 0, 0, 1, 1. You can see the binary count 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Next fourth clock pulse. In fourth clock pulse, now A is 1. So when fourth clock pulse is applied, A goes from 1 to 0, which is clock input for second. Same 1 to 0 clock input, so second will get trigger. B will go from 1 to 0. Same, that means third will get triggered. 3, that means C will go from 0 to 1. But when C goes from 0 to 1, there will be no change on the fourth flip-flop. So at the end of the fourth flip-flop, D remains as it is, C changes from 0 to 1, B changes from 1 to 0, A changes from 1 to 0. So at the end of the fourth clock pulse, the state is 0, 1, 0, 0. So now you can see that it is nothing but the binary count. So at the end of the fifth clock pulse, it will be 0, 1, 0, 1, 6th 0, 1, 1, 0, 7th 0, 1, 1, 1, 8th 1, 0, 0, 0, 9, 1, 0, 0, 1, 10, 1, 0, 1, 0, 11, 1, 0, 1, 1, 12, 1, 1, 0, 0, 13, 1, 1, 0, 1, 14, 1, DCBA 1, 1, 1, 0, and at the end of the 15th clock pulse, the state will be 1, 1, 1, 1. Now let us see what happens at the end of the 16th clock pulse. Say at the 15th clock pulse, all the output will be 1. All the output will be 1. So when the 16th clock pulse is given, 16th clock pulse goes from 1 to 0. What happens is the first flip-flop will toggle, the output goes from 1 to 0, which will be clock input for the second, 1 to 0. Flip-flop 2 will toggle, it will go from 1 to 0. Same, so flip-flop 3 will get toggle, it will go from 1 to 0. That means C will go from 1 to 0, which is clock input for the fourth. Fourth will go from 1 to 0. So at the end of the 16th clock pulse, the state will again go back to its initial condition, that is 0, 0, 0, 0. So discrete state, that is different state, is from 0, 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1, 1. So total number of discrete states is 16. Therefore it is called as modulo 16 counter. So we need to draw the circuit diagram. We have to explain at least 2 or 3 conditions. We have to tell which flip-flops will be activated, which flip-flop will be deactivated, and accordingly what will be the count at different clock pulse. And then we have to write the truth table, and there is one more important thing called as timing diagram. See how it has to be designed. Of course it is very easy for to understand. First what you have to do is you have to draw the clock pulses, that is triggering pulses. How many clock pulses we need? We need 15 clock pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 clock pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now this clock pulse is given to the first flip-flop, and the flip-flop changes its state when the clock goes from 1 to 0. So you draw an to 0, high to low, 1 to 0, and there you draw a dotted line so that it gives you a reference to where the output of the flip-flops will change. (10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. Now this clock is given to the first flip-flop. Output of first flip-flop is A. That means A is going to change with each applied clock pulse. So initially A is 0. When the first clock pulse applies, first clock pulse is given, it goes from 0 to 1. In the second clock pulse, it toggles back to 0. Third, again 1. Fourth, 0. Like this, 0, 1, 0, 1 will continue. So the flip-flop A will toggle with each applied clock pulse. So this is the output of A. Now A is the clock input for B. So B will change only when the clock, that means clock goes from 1 to 0, and clock means A when A goes from 1 to 0. So draw arrow mark wherever A goes from 1 to 0. So this will be your B. So B initially 0. When A goes for the first time, when A goes from 1 to 0, it will change to 1. Second, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, like this. Now C depends upon output of second, that is B. So whenever B goes from 1 to 0, C will change its state, so initially it will be 0. Here at the first instant when B goes from 1 to 0, we have drawn an arrow mark. From there the output will change for C. Here again it will go back to 0. Here again it is 1, like this. And last D, so D depends upon, the output D depends upon C. Whenever C goes from 1 to 0, the flip-flop will change its state. So initially it will be 0. Here it will become 1. So this is the circuit logic diagram, truth table and timing diagram of 4-bit binary counter, which is also called as 4-bit ripple counter. As I said, ripples means what happens is the first flip-flop changes depending upon its output, second changes, third changes, fourth changes. So there is a ripple like generated binary data. The ripples of binary data is generated from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and therefore it is called as ripple counter. 4-bit asynchronous counter because all the flip-flops are clocked at different interval of time. Modulo 16 counter or mod 16 counter because total number of discrete states are 0 to 15, that is total number of discrete states is 16. So this is the working of a 4-bit binary counter. I hope you have understood.